Hello. Hi, everyone. Come on in. I always feel like I have to clean the camera. Hi, come on in, guys. All right, so I only announced this live video, I think like 8:30 this morning. So if no one jumps on, I'll go ahead and do a little bit of teaching and then you guys can watch it in the replay. So, hi everyone. My name is Felicia. I'm a physical therapist and a health and wellness coach. And in today's video, I wanted to answer one of your questions of what type of exercises should I be doing? So, as you guys know, in certain fields in healthcare and health and wellness is one of those, it depends. We all hate that answer, right? Like, it depends. Like, what does it depends mean, right? Like, why can't you just give me a straight answer? So, it truly depends. First of all, it depends on what your goals are, right? Like, what are your goals? What are you trying to achieve? Are you trying to achieve weight loss? Are you trying to do some body recomposition? Are you, excuse me, is your goal to like build strength? Are you trying to like get stocky? And then also too, what is your body type? What are your genetics like? Do you have any other underlying health conditions? There's a lot to entail. There are layers and levels to this thing, guys. Hi, Roxanne. How are you? Yay, Roxanne is here. I just want to say hi in the chat real quickly. Yeah, so there's levels to it. I do get the question often like, I want to work on my stomach. I want my stomach to be flatter. Like, how many sit-ups should I do? And you guys have all heard it before about you really can't like spot train. And it's true what they say, like abs, stomach, whatever, all of that's all about your diet and everything. But what I would like to do today is I just wrote down like a few quick notes and I wanted to talk to you guys so because like the individual that like presented the question, like I don't know all these details about you. So what I'll do is I'll just give you guys like a little bit of my history and I'll talk a little bit like about myself and how I continue to arrive to like what phase of workouts and what type of exercises I should do. And then maybe like if you have a similar body type to mine or if any of this relates to you, then you'll be able to create it like for yourself. Or I would love to work with you as a client. I'd love to be your coach, and I can help you identify this as well. So first, let's just talk about like there are three main types, like three main body types. Okay, you have ectomorph, which are the individuals that are usually like kind of like tall and like lanky. These are your friends that like pretty much you feel like they can just eat whatever they want. They never gain weight. These are like the individuals I tend to think about, like from an athletic perspective, like our endurance runners, like the very lean athletes. This is who I tend to think of. Your dancers, models, like those are the ones that have the ectomorph body type. They have those smaller bone structure, and then like their shoulders are typically wider than their hips. So their hips are very narrow, right? And usually they have really fast metabolisms. And then you have the mesomorph. So when I was younger, I would consider myself definitely a mesomorph. You know what? As a matter of fact, I think I'll have to do another video. And what I'll do is bring in like photos and like show you guys like, the progression along the way. So mesomorphs typically have like the more athletic frame. They have a medium bone structure. They tend to have that athletic appearance. It's very easy for mesomorphs to gain weight. I'm sorry, it's very easy. It is easy for them to gain weight, but it's also easy for them to like gain muscle mass. Like to put on muscle for a mesomorph is really like not a hard thing. And if you start to think about like we talked about the endurance runner before, but if you think about your track and field athletes, like you see them and they have like these massive legs, right? So those are more of the mesomorph body frames. And then also with mesomorphs, usually you really don't have to like worry about your weight. Like when I was younger, and when I say younger, I mean like as like a kid as well as like through my 20s, early 20s, late 20s, or whatever. I never really had to worry about my weight. Like I wasn't thinking about like how do I lose weight? As long as I was just conscious of what I was eating and I remained like at least somewhat of an active lifestyle, like thinking about my weight was not a big deal. So usually that's what happens with our mesomorphs. Then you have the endomorph. One second, Roxanne says, "Hi, I have to run, but I do yoga, weight training, elliptical." Yes, I am not able to do CrossFit or things because of heart issues and heart monitor. See, that's exactly what I'm talking about here. It all depends upon what other things you have going on. Thank you so much, Roxanne, for sharing that. I really appreciate it. Yeah, it depends on what all you have going on. So, and she also says she's a mesomorph on top and ecto on the bottom, which is you're an apple. Okay, so that's another thing that we'll talk about. You can actually have like a mix of the two. So yes, thank you, Roxanne. I appreciate you for adding that in the chat. Thank you so much. Have a good workout. Okay, and then so as I was saying, you also have your endomorphs. Your endomorphs is a third body type, and usually our endomorphs are like more like kind of like stocky. Like when I think about track and field, can you guys tell I was a track and field athlete? So when I think about track and field, I think about like our shot putters. Like they're more stocky. They have like a larger midsection than their hips, and their body is like a little bit more rounded, a little bit more soft. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you, Roxanne. Thank you. Roxanne's going to catch it in the replay. So that's awesome. Thank you. So, yeah. So, like for the endomorph, it is very easy for them to gain weight. Like the endomorphs are the ones that you'll often hear say, like, oh my gosh, it doesn't matter what I eat, like I still gain weight. Or they'll see, like, for instance, you can take like an ectomorph, right? That's eating something, and like if an endomorph was to eat that, like it would be like the worst thing on earth, basically. So the endomorphs tend to gain weight very easily. And then also remember, like all of these different body types, they're basically determined based upon your genetics, your DNA. But lifestyle changes can cause a change as well. So lifestyle changes as far as like your diet, how active you are, also like your exercise routines, and any type of hormonal or metabolic changes can also kind of like change how your body type is. And that's what I wanted to share with you guys today. So as I mentioned, I'll talk to you about like my journey and kind of like the things that happened with me, and then you can kind of like use my example like for yourself and kind of see where you fall in. So when it comes to exercises as a teenager, and also like when I was in my early 20s. So as a teenager, I ran track and field, I played basketball, I was a cheerleader, like I did like every sport, volleyball, I did it all. So I was very, very athletic. Up into my 20s or early 20s, I was actually in the West Virginia National Guard. So I was also a soldier. So I've always been extremely active. And again, like I mentioned in another video, I'll show you guys like pictures along the way. So that mesomorph body type is exactly where I was. I never thought about like having to lose weight. I mean, I would think about it, but not like, oh my gosh, I need to lose weight. I was just very athletic and I was okay with it. Now, as life went on, so lots of things happened in life, had a kid, gained 72 pounds. Like a lot of life changes happen and a lot of hormonal changes happen. And also, I became insulin resistant. Now, many endomorphs are insulin resistant. So let's talk a little bit about that. So I moved out of this athletic body type into more of an endomorph. And if you guys go back and look on the channel, like I was like very round. I mean, I'm still round and I'm 216 pounds, but I'm losing the weight. So far, if you guys are new to the channel, I started my 100-pound weight loss journey. I have lost like over 40 pounds. But yeah, so started becoming more of an endomorph. I'll show lots of pictures in another video of like how my body became like very soft. You didn't see as much muscle definition. And even now, I still kind of feel that way. Like I don't have as much muscle definition as I once did. And my body does appear like a little bit more round and more soft than before. So with endomorphs, this is not saying all endomorphs are like this, but part of what happened with me is that I became less active and I started living a more sedentary lifestyle. My workouts were inconsistent. You guys know I'm a home health physical therapist, so I would ride around in the car all day. And then our daughter was playing volleyball like 2 hours away. So I would drive 3 days a week, drive 2 hours to practice, stay at practice for 2.5 hours, and then drive 2 hours back. So that was a very, very sedentary lifestyle, not much sleep. So, yes, definitely insulin resistant. Things were just all over the place. So, you guys know that when I first started my journey, A couple of things. Hopefully, this may help you guys. If you do have like an endomorph body type, and the question is, what type of workout should I do? So, first of all, what you have to do is get your body back used to burning fat again. Like my body was just, oh, and I was also eating very, very frequently, like all the time. I was stressed. So a lot of times stress causes us to eat. I was going through a lot of things emotionally. So yes, so I had to get my body back into a fat burning. Monique, yes, Monique is here. Oh, what is that little bug flying around in here? He's gonna bother me. Okay, Monique says, "Hey Felicia, listening to you while I'm getting my workout clothes on." Yes, getting ready for the workout. Good job. I love it. You guys, I'm so proud of you all. I'm super proud of you. So what I was saying was that I had to get my body, as I had moved into that endomorph, like I had to get my body back into a fat burning phase. So believe it or not, and like a lot of times you hear people like on the internet, they talk about, oh, if you're not lifting or if you're not doing resistance training, you're not burning fat. That's not necessarily true. Like I started off just walking. And with that, it started kicking my metabolism back up. I also started doing more of like a low carb diet. So I started training my body how to burn fat again. So just because you've witnessed this journey, mostly I have walked. Like I've aimed for 10,000 steps a day. Everyone's like, "What's your workout plan? What are you doing?" I started lifting weights, but then I backed off again because, as I mentioned before, at even though I moved into like an endomorph by nature, like my DNA is mesomorph. So it did not take much for me to put on muscle mass. And in me gaining muscle mass, I also gained weight. And I just was not at the mental state yet to where I can see the number go up on the scale. I was still wanting to see it come back down. So we'll get back to that because I've learned how to like do that combination. So I'll talk about that a little bit more here in a bit. But yeah, so I had to get my body back into the burning fat as fuel. So I was doing walking. If you are an endomorph, if you have the endomorph body frame, you want to do more endurance training. So if you're doing like, let's say if you go out, you want to do like walking, hiking, cycling, swimming, like those are the things that you want to do because you want to get your body into burning fat again. And you want to do it for at least like 30 to 60 minutes. It doesn't have to be hardcore. It doesn't have to be that sprinting, that anaerobic stuff. It can just be very light for an extended amount of time. And that will start to get you some of your results. Excuse me. I'm sorry, guys. I keep clearing my throat. And then, and then if you're doing so as an endomorph, if you insist on doing strength training, then, and I don't say insist on like it's a bad thing. Some people really love the strength training aspect. So what you want to do is keep your reps high, right? But then you want to keep your intensity, like your rest period should be short because you do want to keep your heart rate up. So keep your intensity high. I go back and forth between high weights and low weights. It depends upon the individual. Science will tell you one thing, but honestly, what I found in my practice is that it depends on the individual as far as if you want your weights high or low, because sometimes you can have an individual and you press those weights and bring them up high, and then they're sore for days. And that kind of like defeats the purpose because now they can't work out for like a week or 2 weeks. So for certain individuals, keeping the weight a little bit lower so that they're able to be more consistent with their endurance training, whether it be strength training or their cardio, that is what's best for them. So your workout programs will probably look like doing something, which is what I am currently doing. I'll share that with you guys. So I'm currently still walking 4 miles a day. That takes me about an hour and 20 minutes. And then once a week, because as a mesomorph, you want to mix your workouts up. As a mesomorph, if you only do strength training, if I only do strength training, I have the potential to gain weight. So now, as a mesomorph, like I'm in between the mesomorph and the endomorph phase. Okay. So I am currently doing the 4 miles per day, steady state, not really getting the heart rate up. But I'm also doing HIIT training where I'm like trying to push myself at least 1 to 2 days a week. Okay. And then now what I'm currently doing, which is why I haven't posted a lot here on the channel, but what I'm also doing is starting to build strength again, but not going the longer sections. If you are an ectomorph, which was that first one that we talked about, where you're like long and lanky, yeah, you can lift weights and you can have like a full blown 40 40 to 60-minute session. And that will be great for you because you really do want to put on muscle mass if you are an ectomorph. But for me, I'm still trying to mix it up. I have to keep my body guessing, what it's doing, what's coming. So I have to do a mix of like HIIT workouts, endurance workouts, strength training where you're building that muscle hypertrophy, where you're making the muscles grow. So I still have to keep it kind of guessing. So that's currently what I'm doing right now. I'm gonna wait and see if you guys have any. Hi, Misty's here. Hi, Misty. I just saw your recent upload when I got ready to come on here and go live. So I can't wait to go back and watch it. I saw it on my homepage. You guys check out Misty's channel, Your Pal Misty. She is amazing and funny. So check out her channel. Yes, I'm so happy that you're here, Misty. So yeah, so basically, Misty, what I was doing was I was answering a viewer's question. She wanted to know like what type of workouts should she be doing. And of course, I told her, here in the video, it depends. And then we talked about the three body types, the ectomorph, individuals that are usually like tall and pretty lanky, fast metabolisms, rarely ever gain weight. We talked about the mesomorphs, which typically have like a more athletic build, and for them it's usually easy, for not easy, but mesomorphs usually do a good job of like maintaining their weight as long as they're conscious of their diet, and they live an active lifestyle. And then the endomorphs, more stocky, larger midsection, in comparison to their hips. Their bodies are usually like pretty round and soft in appearance. And I was just sharing with them like how when I was younger, I actually had a mesomorph body frame. And like as time went on, because you can have like your lifestyle changes, diet changes, hormonal metabolic changes cause, contribute to your body changes. So I was sharing with them how I actually moved my little self over into an endomorph body type. And then how I've been training like as an endomorph throughout this journey so far. And now I think I'm kind of moving back in the middle, because I have noticed that it's easy for me to like start putting on muscle mass again. And then also I'm noticing that I need a little bit more of intensity. So that is what which one do you think you are? You think you're an endomorph? But I am changing. Misty, are you serious? Okay, so do you mean like, I would say I thought you were an endomorph from like way back in the beginning of your channel, but I think now you're more mesomorph. What do you think? I feel like you're kind of moving it. Look at your arms, girl. You guys, do me a favor. Go to Your Pal Misty's channel and look at her. Even look at the thumbnail. Look at her arms. She is definitely moving into becoming more of a mesomorph. But that's just an example, though. Misty, how much weight have you lost? Can you put that in the chat for us? How much weight have you lost so far? So even just looking at her as an example, you go back on her channel and she definitely had more. She's lost 145. That is, oh my gosh, I got to put confetti. Hold up. I got to put confetti in the chat. Holy cow. Oh my gosh, congratulations. So, oh, she says, yes, she's been gaining muscle quickly. And yes, she's now more of a mesomorph. Absolutely. So I just wanted to share that with you guys. Like you can definitely, if you put the work in, you can, I mean, we can't change like our DNA and our genetics. I mean, oh my gosh, that's a whole nother debate. Science is crazy now. But for the most part, right? Like we are born one way. And then depending upon our lifestyle changes, we can actually move and flex, or even be a combination of two. So yes, I am strict training, and has done it for me 100. See, there you go. There you go. So to answer, like, I feel like I've answered the question for the most part, but no, I don't believe that you can do like spot training. I mean, just because you do sit-ups, it doesn't mean that you're going to have abs. Like you definitely need to watch your diet. And we'll talk about diet in another video. I mainly just wanted to address like the types of workouts. So if you're an ectomorph, more than likely your goal will probably be to put on muscle mass. So you want to do strength training, decrease decrease the reps, right? And then you want to go for it. You want to go heavy and you want to pound on the muscle, cause some hypertrophy of the muscles, which is basically growth. So as an ectomorph, that is what you want to do. If you are a mesomorph, um, you can get away with lifting 3 to 5 times a week. Usually you see a lot of mesomorphs. Like if I can go back to before and I still had that mesomorph body that I never like, I'm not gonna say screwed up, but I'm just gonna say it for the sake of this video and what I want to say. If I still had that mesomorph body type, it would be like Instagram banging. Like you see like the people on Instagram that are like, they want to be snatched or they want this, they want that, or like have the body type that looks in appearance like a BBL. I think I could actually do that with the body I had before I wrecked it. So we'll see. I don't know. Like, let's see what happens in 5 years, where Felicia is in 5 years. We'll see. Don't hold me to it. But yeah, and if you are an endomorph, crank up that endurance training. Go on some long walks, hikes, cycling. And then remember, I said that usually the endomorphs typically, not all, but typically are insulin resistant. So you want to like be careful with your hormones. You don't want to overstress or overtax the body. You want to do like enough. And it's okay to leave it at low intensity. It's okay for, even like with me as I was in this and when I was at 260 pounds, gosh, guys, I wanted to like go running and walking and like cycling with a lot of my friends. But I knew that the old Felicia that had that mesomorph body type, the not that we would have to compete, but there's a part of me that would want to IG banging. You know what I'm talking about, Misty. You know what I'm talking about exactly. So there's a part of me that would have pushed a lot harder. And I was not at when I was at 260 pounds, that's not what my body needed. Like me pushing harder and going like high intensity, kind of like I did when I was a spin instructor and doing all of that other stuff, was the last thing that my body needed as I was in this section of like hormonal imbalance and all of that stuff. So yeah, I hope you guys found this video to be helpful. I'll wait and see if there's any more comments. And also, please don't forget to go subscribe to your pal Missy's channel. She's lost 145 pounds, you guys. That's just incredible. Just round of applause. Round of applause. 145 pounds. Woo, that's 100 more pounds than where I currently am. Oh my goodness. Yeah, and she's done it through exercise, diet, and just lifestyle changes. So it's incredible. I am so proud of her. And one thing that she and I kind of talked about in the comment section a little bit is what's so awesome about this journey is the person that you become. So just think about like 145 pounds, like you change and grow so much as an individual. Like you see your body changing, but also the mindset that you have to develop to in order to lose 145 pounds. Like you've got to have a strong mindset. And it doesn't mean that you're perfect all the time. Like we all on our journeys, we all have ups and downs. We all question things and we all, just kind of like we all have those moments. We're human, but the mindset that she developed to lose 145 pounds is incredible. Incredible. Congratulations again. Monique, did you have any questions for me? Yeah, everything changes for the better. I agree with that. I'll give it a second. So I hope I answered the question effectively. It had helped me during a rough time for sure. Yes. Oh, she's good. Monique said she's good. Yes, and just being on the journey, what I've noticed here lately is that even when I have hard times, like I no longer go to those old habits that I used to go to before. I no longer use the old coping mechanisms that I used to use before. You guys saw there's a video on the channel where I talked about emotional eating. And now, like if I'm having a hard time, I'll go to sleep because I know that's beneficial for me if I have the ability to. I'll go for a walk. That's helping me burn calories. It's helping, stabilize my hormones. Like there's so many benefits from that. I'll journal. I'll talk to a friend. Like I don't like go and eat. You know what I mean? So that's just, and plus like when you're eating basically you're just hurting yourself, right? So we'll talk about that in another video. I know Sheena wanted me to do a video about emotional eating, so I'll be sure to do that in another video. But for the most part, this video is basically what type of exercise should I do. Overall, I do think, Monique, I see it. I'm waiting for you. Overall, I do think and believe that weightlifting is good for everyone, particularly women. But be careful. I want to know what's going on. What other health issues do you have going on? And cardio is good for everyone. If you have an ectomorph body type and you want to gain muscle, and that's another thing, like not all ectomorphs want to gain muscle. It's everyone's different. You're allowed to have your own desires. But if you wanted to put on more muscle, anyone, ectomorph, mesomorph, endomorph, if you wanted to put muscle on, that was your priority, I would definitely recommend doing like a light warm up and then making resistance training your focus of the workout and then cardio after. Yes, thank you. Thank you, Missy. I appreciate that. Thank you. And Monique, I was waiting for your question. Have you guys dealt with bad breath during intermittent fasting? I chew gum, but wondering if it's triggering hunger. Oh, okay. So, Monique, how old are you? Do you mind me asking? How old are you? No, it's not too off topic. I'll answer it in this video. That's fine. But real quickly about the bad breath thing, bad breath. I think I had like bad breath like before because I still have to wear a mask for work and it's like all the time. Like I don't smell it. My a blessed 43. Okay, so I can say this to you. So I don't, if I do, I don't care. If I do, I don't care. Like my family hasn't said anything, people haven't said anything, but I wouldn't chew gum though, because I feel like gum, for me, in my opinion, the gum would break the fast. So to me, I'm not going to break my fast just to not have bad breath for someone else. Like I'd rather like stand off or, you know what I mean? But I feel like, I feel like the longer you fast, that you kind of get used to. I don't know. You know what? I'll ask my husband later. Oh, I'm brave. Yes. I don't know. I don't chew gum because to me, the gum would break the fast. And the gum would make me more hungry because there was a time before when I tried to fast like years ago and I was doing keto and I would chew gum as well as have like what is it called? Not Crystal Light, but there was like Mio, Crystal Light or Mio or something. And I found that those artificial sweeteners actually make me more hungry. So personally, I don't chew gum. Yeah, Missy's right. Ketones can make your breath smell. Absolutely. But I think I'm at a point right now. I'm 41 years old and my goals are more important. My goals are more important. I think that's actually what I would tell someone. Like if they're like, oh my gosh, your breath. I'd be like, oh, it must be the ketones. I've been fasting for 18 hours. I'm sorry. I'll step back, but I'm not gonna put gum in my mouth. I'm not gonna ruin my goals to make someone else more comfortable. Not anymore. Maybe like when I was in my 20s or 30s, but not Felicia today. Sorry. Sorry. So I hope that answers your question. Yeah, the gum can definitely cause you to feel. Yeah, she says she don't care. Yeah. Yeah. See, no one's complained. So it's probably just you probably feel that way. And I was a gum chewer. Like I always chew gum, even and not like for the breath aspect of it, but like because I played a ton of sports. So it was what I did when I was nervous. So before like a basketball game track, like I always had gum. I would be running up and down the court with gum in my mouth, and coach would be like, "Please, are you chewing gum?" And I would like ignore him and tuck it somewhere. But then it was what I did. I just enjoyed chewing gum because it kept me, it was like what I did with my nervous energy, I'm pretty sure. So I didn't really, I've always chewed gum. But once I started fasting, that's when I first, for the first time, stopped chewing gum. Like I haven't chewed gum since like the first day that I fasted. Or actually, no, I take that back. I stopped chewing gum during bright line eating because I was only doing 3 meals a day and no snacking. So I had to stop. Every now and then, before I started fasting, I would just chew gum like here and there, like if I was flying or if I was gonna do something where I knew I was gonna be a little nervous. But for the most part, when I'm fasting, no, no gum. Yeah, you're good. If your husband is probably the closest person in your face, and if he hasn't said anything, I'm pretty sure you're good. All right, guys. So I hope you guys found this video helpful. If you have any additional questions, if you're watching this in the replay, feel free to leave them down in the comment. See, all in your face. Feel free to leave them down in the comment section below. And as always, please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And I'll see you in the next video. Bye, guys.